Hello friends, today we will discuss contract farming. There will be some questions in your mind. What is contract farming? Will it help in doubling the farmer's income? Or it will be a doom for the farmers? So what is the issue? The government recently came out with a Model Contract Farming Act 2018. Friends, the first question is why central government required a Model Contract Farming Act? Because agriculture is a state subject and central government cannot enact a statute on a state subject that require 5 specific conditions which are mentioned in Indian Constitution. Apart from that, central government want state government's cooperation, and for that state government want that every state enacts its own law. Central government only wants to help every state. So for better center-state cooperation on land lease will ensure that both farmers and sponsors gain. Both farmers, because farmers will receive good remuneration and other benefits, whereas sponsors will receive a certain product which will they add value and sell in the domestic as well as foreign market and earn good money. Friends, before going into the issue of contract farming, we will have a look at the growth scenario in the agriculture. As per the Central Statistic Office estimates, agriculture growth rate for year 2017 and 18 has been estimated at 2.1% compared to 4.9% in the preceding year. So friends, you can see the agricultural percentage is decreasing. It was 4.9% in the last year, but now it is only 2.1%. In such a scenario, how will our farmers will gain? How their income will increase? If we are not able to increase the income of farmers, then how this inclusive growth can be achieved? Around 48% of our population is dependent on agriculture, and unlike industry and services, their income is very low. They are facing various issues and they are going up to the extent of suicide. So friends, what are the reasons due to the agricultural scenario in India is poor? There are various reasons for that, but since we are discussing only contract farming, so it is important for us to know that poor commercialization and modernizations are big issues. Friends, in industry and services sector, commercialization and modernization are happening at very fast. Since the technology has started to advance, industry and services has also started to advance. There are various capitalist people who are using these modern technologies and commercial techniques to grow in a big manner, whereas our farmers are very poor. They are not capable enough to buy machineries or other modernization or commercial practices on their own. They require the support of government, and if corporate sectors come forward, then government can also assist the farmers in commercialization and modernization. So friends, first it is required for us to know what is contract farming. So friends, now we will discuss contract farming. What is contract farming? Friends, in contract farming there is a company. We call that company as Sarv because first time corporate sector is coming forward and helping farmers. After that corporate sector or that company will have an agreement with the farmer, and this company will provide inputs like seeds, credit, insurance, etc. to the farmers, and farmer will produce and give it to the company. Then company will sell this produce in the market and earn huge profit. What is contract farming? It refers to a system in which a buyer enter into contracts with farmers. So there are two parties. First is a buyer company and second are farmers who will produce. Buyers may include agro processing, exporting and trading units. Friends, any corporate sector, any company who is involved in value addition or export or trade may partner with the farmers. They purchase a specified quantity of any agricultural commodity at pre-agreed price. Friends, in the agreement, the price is predetermined and that buyer company has to purchase that product at the predetermined price and farmers will get a surety for return. The contracting firm or company is also known as sponsor. Friends, we call the company as sponsor because it will provide the required all inputs or production support to the farmers. This includes the extension services also. Friends, what are the extension services? Extension services are those services which are when the knowledge or technology are supplied to the farmers from lab to actual farm field. This is called as extension services. The extension services are very poor in India and corporate sector can assist in improving the extension services. What are the benefits of contact farming? Before looking into the contact farming, we need to know that by passing the Model Act, the benefits of contact farming could become easier. Prior to this, there are several states who were hesitant to allow contact farming. They were not ready for contact farming because they feared the loss of farmer support. But after passing of Model Act, many states are coming forward. So ultimately, we can see there may be many of the benefits which can arise to the farmers. First one is income. The idea is to increase farmers' income by creating an alternative market mechanism. Friends, at present, a farmer either has to sell their produce in their village or go to the urban mandis. They face various issues in urban mandis. Recently, 1 or 2 months ago, we have heard that in one district of Madhya Pradesh, one farmer died when he was waiting for his turn to sell his produce in the mandi. So if such kind of incidents are happening in India, then it is very difficult for farmers to sell their produce in urban mandis. But by passing of Model Contract Farming Act, the farmers can have an assured selling mechanism. The company will purchase farmers' produce at the predetermined price. It would also provide linkages between national and international market. Friends, a small farmer can never think of going to sell their produce outside India, but these companies can do. They will collect produce from the farmers and pool their production, and by adding value or directly they can sell this produce in international market. Second issue is of middlemen. Agricultural market invariably remain in the clutches of middlemen. The act allows farmers and farmer producer organizations to directly link with companies. Friends, we have heard about middlemen in the mandis. These middlemen take the major share of farmers' revenue, but in contract farming there is no middleman involved. There is only one buyer company and selling farmer, and farmers can also form farmer producer organization, a collective group where many of the farmers will come together and sell their produce collectively to the company. In this way, their bargaining will also increase, their negotiation power will also increase, and they will not be exploited by neither any middleman or nor by any company. It thus enhances market linkage and removes dependence on middlemen. Third point is price. 86% of our total land holdings in the country belong to the small and marginal category. In such a case, the act will have an indirect effect on farmers forming FPOs. Friends, as we have discussed, the farmers will form farmer producer organization, and this farmer producer organization will be able to bargain more betterly. In such a scenario, they will not be exploited and they will discover price which is reasonable, which is fair. Apart from the good price discovery, it also helps in pooling their land for a better say in determining the prices. Friends, when the land is pooled, then production will also become better because machinery can be used or other resources can be used. So by forming farmer producer organization, the price discovery for farmers will be good, their production will also increase. Friends, the next benefit is reduction in cost. Farmers no longer have to transport their produce to the mandis. Friends, as we have also discussed earlier, in Madhya Pradesh, in one mandi, a farmer has to die because he has waited for 4 days. He was hungry for 4 days. Friends, they have to hire a tractor on rent and they are not able to pay the rent of tractor. In such a scenario, if a company comes to their home and collects the produce, then the transportation cost is reduced, which is a major portion of farmers' cost of production. As sponsors usually collect the produce from the farm gate, it thus reduces farmers' cost and thereby translates into increased income. Friends, reduced cost means increased income. The next benefit is land assurity to land rights. Fear of losing land has always inhibited farmers from embracing new policy, but the act does well to insulate land ownership rights of the farmers. It prevents them from any potential infringement from the sponsors or the buyer. Friends, the agreements will be completely clear cut. No land can be infringed. Like the colonial empire, if farmer is not able to produce or if he produces less, his land rights will never be questioned. The company can never question the farmer's land rights, so farmer's land rights will remain always intact. As far as market is concerned, contact farming create new markets for farmer produce. As we have discussed, their market will not only increase to urban mandis or the Indian market, but their produce can go to the export, can go to the foreign markets also. For example, friends, if a corporate come into contact with farmers for tomato cultivation, after the tomato cultivation the company makes ketchup or tomato ketchup of that tomato produce, the company can sell that tomato ketchup in the world market. So in this way farmers are connected to the world market. Financing, lack of formal financing mechanism and lower penetration of crop insurance are the prime causes of farmer distress. Friends, we have heard that in the traditional societies or even at the contemporary times, the money lenders are exploiting the farmers. They are charging exorbitant interest rate. In such a case, farmers are not able to came out of the clutches of money lenders. Farmers have very poor resources. They also don't have land titles. In such a case, the loan from formal sources like banks, etc., is also restricted to them. And since they don't have land rights, they also don't have insurance claims. So in such a scenario, contact farming facilitates financing and crop insurance as well. But friends, this contact farming or model contact farming act is not bereft of any shortcomings. There are many shortcomings. Like first one, there is a establishment of board, and if that board regulates in such a way that price is fixed at higher level, then the corporate sector will hesitate to come forward, and if corporate sector is hesitant to come forward, then the whole purpose of contact farming will be lost. Similarly, many of the farmers may produce low quality produce, and if the corporate sector is forced to buy that low quality product, then the value added product will also lose its quality. In such a scenario, companies will again be reluctant to come forward. Similarly, in case of insurance, the insurance will increase the cost for the corporate sector, and corporate sector may charge this price on farmers, and this may increase the price of farmers or cost for farmers. Friends, apart from these shortcomings, there are fears that who will protect the interest of farmers. The corporate sector has higher powers because of its economic muscles. In such a scenario, who will protect the interest of farmers? We are also fearful of colonial empire-like situation. We remember that during the Indigo Revolt, the farmers were forced to produce indigo. We are fearful that such kind of situation should not come in the name of contracts. So we need to see what is way ahead. In such a scenario, the central government and state government needs to come forward and take the side of farmers. Being a state subject, operationalizing agricultural reform need states' cooperation. Most often, these reforms fall victim of central-state political differences. Central and state government, rather than fighting over this issue, need to come together and frame those policies which are beneficial for farmers. Only then the contact farming can be successful. And apart from that cooperation, land leasing law is also required to be passed. Friends, we have seen that Indian land is gradually fragmenting. Due to father will, the son are getting more and more land, and in this way the land is being divided in many parts, and the divided land is no more able to produce good crop. None of the state has adopted the land leasing act in entirety, whereas the contract farming act has to be supplemented by well balanced land leasing law. So friends, in such a scenario, if contract farming has to be successful, then model agricultural land leasing act needs to be passed, and in this way the productivity can be boosted and economies of scale can be achieved. So फ्रेंड्स, इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। जय हिंद।